Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you yet another book video, and I'm gonna share the books that I've recently read with you. And I have some decent books here, some great books, some not so great books, and I'm gonna talk about them all. So tell me in the comments down below what you've recently read and what you're currently reading, and let's jump right into it. So the first book I have here is The 13 Rising by Romina Russell, which is the last book in the Zodiac series. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars, and I recommend the series if you really like sci-fi romance and if a love triangle isn't gonna drive you insane. I hate love triangles, but I pushed through and kept reading the series, and I actually kind of like the characters, and it's nice. And it's pretty cool. And this book wasn't really a disappointment because I like this series, but I'm not obsessed with it, so I wasn't like hyped about this. But the main character kind of like goes through a period of grief that is like she's basically a total bitch and she does stupid shit. And that's like most of this book. And so it kind of made me really angry, and she was really rude and did things that were like, but I still liked it. I still like the characters, and I like the world, and I like how it ended. Again, if sci-fi romance sounds good to you, you can check this book and the whole series out. Plus, like, what doesn't hurt is how beautiful this series is. I love this. I love this cover and all the other covers in this series, so it's a bonus. Next book, I actually haven't finished. I'm halfway through, but I still really want to talk about it right now. That's The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Everyone's been talking about this, and I heard everyone talk about this, and then I got the book, and now I'm talking about it because it's worth the hype. I'm probably gonna make a review, so if you want to hear more of my thoughts, then stay tuned for that. But it's amazing. It is so fast-paced, so interesting, so fun. I love the characters. It has 3 different points of view, and they're all really different, and that brings this just strong dynamics to the book. And it's fantasy, and it's not really romance yet, but I'm beginning to ship certain people, and it's exciting. And yeah, I really like it, and I really recommend it. And if you're intimidated by how long it is, it has 500 pages, but it's seriously, like, if I had time to read it in one sitting, I would have, because it's just so fun. It just takes all your attention. It just totally immerses you into the story, and you won't be able to stop reading it. And it's seriously awesome, worth the hype, love it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 5 stars. Like, I haven't read it yet, but I feel it in my bones, in my heart. And I really think it's gonna be 5 stars. But again, I'm gonna talk about it later in another video. The next thing is The Bells by Doniel Clayton, and again, a really pretty book. I appreciate it. I gave this book 3 stars. It has a message in it that I think is really important. It has really nice writing, and the characters are interesting, and it's different from anything I've ever read before, and it's actually really surprising. If any of that sounds good to you, it's fantasy. I'm not sure if I said that. And the plot is basically like there is this place and society that like they were cursed, and they now have gray skin and just gross hair, and they just look ugly. And so there are these girls that are called the Bells who don't look like that, who look like us basically, and they have the power to make people more beautiful. Like, they change their hair and the way they look and whatever. And yeah, so the things that are the most important to me in books weren't really there. And I'm not saying it's a bad book, I'm not saying I wouldn't recommend it, it wasn't anything for me, because it didn't have any romance in it, which is really important to me, or at least, like, I need to ship someone, and there wasn't really anyone that I could ship. Plus, I don't care about whether books surprise me or not, because I'm used to not being surprised, and I don't mind it. If you are bored of cliches, and if you just want something that you're not gonna expect, something different and nicely written, then you could check this out. But it wasn't really for me, so I wasn't that happy with that book. Then, I have two poetry books, first being Love Her Wild by Atticus. I have seen his poems on Instagram and Pinterest or whatever, and I saw this book, I was like, oh my gosh, and I love poetry, but I have this problem that it's really difficult for me to find really good collections of poetry, because most of the time, or a lot of the time, I just don't really like it, or I do, but it's not really that well written, and it's just complicated. This book, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's nice, it has some photos in it, which I appreciated. It's deep, it's really deep, and it really touched me, and a lot of it spoke to me on a really deep level, and I even, like, took photos of some of the poems so that I can look back at it. But, so that was amazing. And the way that it was written didn't really always impress me. Like, some of it is just really simple, it doesn't rhyme, and it's just like words. But, you know, when you put the meaning behind it, which was most of these poems, then I just really enjoyed reading it. And, yeah, if you like poetry, I think I would recommend this. The other poetry book is The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one, by Amanda Lovelace. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It's like, not a sequel, but it's kind of like a companion book to the Princess Saves Herself in this one, and the cover is very simplistic, very minimalistic, and I really like that. Again, with this one, it has quite deep meaning in it, but some of it, I had a problem with some of the poems, and I also just wasn't really impressed by the way it was written when it comes to the words, but some of it had really, like, deep meaning again, and I enjoyed reading it. And what I love about poetry books is that I just fly through it, and even when I really focus and let the words sink in, it's always short, and I just really like that, you know? So, yeah, again, if you like poetry, you could check this out. If you like The Princess Saves Herself in this one, you're definitely gonna like this. And the last, but not least, is The Trials of Apollo and The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan, the third book in the Trials of Apollo series that I adore beyond measure, because Apollo is the best. I love him so much that I can't even keep my shit together. I was reading it and I was just like, oh my gosh, marry me, please. Anyway, it's amazing. I was not disappointed at all. It's hilarious. There's some there's more character development. There are some old friends of ours that we reunite with in this book, and there are some surprising things as well, and yeah, I love it. It's wonderful. Rick did not disappoint. I would never expect anything more from him. And yes, I absolutely recommend this series. It's amazing. Seriously, go check it out. I know it's really hyped, but it's hyped for a reason, and I'm gonna keep telling you about how awesome it is until the series is over, and definitely after that. So yeah, Apollo is seriously fucking amazing, and he keeps growing and getting better. And I'm so proud of him, and I was just so sad for him as well. Like, this book just made me feel like, oh my gosh, poor Apollo, I wanted to hug him, and it was just like, my baby is hurting, and it was painful, but I loved the book so much, and that's it. So those are all the books that I've recently read. Give this video a thumbs up if you want me to keep doing this. I usually do wrap-ups, or not usually, it depends, but when I read a lot of books in a shorter period of time than a month, I just want to talk about it and divide it into more videos, and I just felt like talking about books today, so I hope you enjoy this video, And again, tell me what you've been reading and what books you've been loving. And that's gonna be it. Have a brilliant day and see you soon in another video. Bye!